Cra! Ha ha ha! Did you see that? The gods are finally leading me to gold. Even as he was being dragged into the void, the man was laughing maniacally, in the midst of the pain of his flesh, being torn apart. His empty eyes were shining only towards the end of the enormous rainbow. Tonight, I will tell you about the terrible downfall of a man, consumed by the greed for instant wealth, and the profound emptiness that followed. Wait, your likes and subscriptions greatly help in creating stories. As the red flame rose from the 9th candle, a thick and acrid aura of the night settled within the temple. The dark ruler Naxar opened his mouth, briefly and heavily, cutting through the smoke of the candle. Shara, speak of the foolish human who yearns for an unattainable mirage. Shara quietly bowed her head and replied, Yes, Naxar, I will tell you the story of the young man, Farid, who is so captivated by the distant gold that he has forsaken the happiness right in front of him. After a long drought, Farid, who lost his entire family, was haunted by the empty rumor that the god's gold is buried at the end of the rainbow. He wandered for 3 months, chasing the illusion, and eventually collapsed, almost becoming a meal for crows at the threshold of death. When a woman from the wasteland, Naila, saved him. Thanks to Naila's devoted care, Farid recovered, and together they dug a well and planted seeds, regaining the true salvation of warmth and the family he had lost. It seemed that such a peaceful life had come, but one day, after the rain, a huge and brilliant rainbow with 7 colors appeared in the sky once again. The moment he saw that light, a terrible madness of greed flashed in Farid's eyes once more. Everyday happiness felt trivial again. Gold. Yes, if I have that gold, I can change my life in an instant. Naila clung to Farid's hem, shedding tears of ominous premonition. Farid, please don't go. That's an unattainable illusion. I say that I am the happiest right now, being with you. However, to Farid, who was blinded by the allure of easy money, her true feelings were nothing more than a bothersome burden. Naila, don't worry. I'll find the gold of the gods and be back within 3 months. Then we can live happier in a better house. He comforted the wailing Naila and jumped madly into the desert again, heading towards the rainbow. What struck him as he raced through the desert was not gold, but a giant monster bird that descended from the sky. The monster bird pierced Farid's shoulder with its sharp claws and soared into the sky. Yet, despite the pain of being torn and bleeding, Farid burst into a bizarre laugh as he watched the monster bird flying towards the mountain, where the end of the rainbow touched. Ha ha! Oh, God, since I have no wings, you send this beast to guide me to gold? At last, the monster bird threw Farid off the top of the rocky mountain into its gigantic nest. With broken legs and covered in blood, Farid crawled towards the end of the rainbow, filled with joy and shouting. Finally, I have reached the end of the rainbow. My gold! But where? The brilliant light of the rainbow touched. There was nothing, only the stinking, rotten bones and excrement of beasts, and the damp, wet dirt floor remained. Farid dug through the dung heap, trembling and frantically, Ah, this is a lie. I must have my gold, my treasures. In the midst of the beast's filth, Farid, shedding tears of blood, finally realized the horrifying truth that he had kicked away Naila, who truly loved him, because of that futile desire. As he wept in deep regret, a hungry giant bird slowly approached from behind, opening its massive beak. As the 9th candle was almost burned down, Shara stopped her story. In the darkness, the sneer of Naxar echoed. What a truly foolish person. To kick away the true sanctuary of life with one's own feet and die as a piece of meat in a field of animal dung. It is the most perfect and foolish comedy, created by human greed. Shara nodded quietly. That is correct, Naxar. What Farid recalled in the last moment, as his body was torn under the beak of the monstrous bird, was not the unattainable gold. It was the tears of Naila, who had resolutely turned away. And that terrible regret is leading to the woman's intense, lingering feelings. The massive shadow of Naxar flickered. A woman left behind. Talk about that lingering feeling tomorrow. As the presence of Naxar receded, and the brilliant morning sunlight shone in with the bluish dawn light outside the temple, Shara quietly smiled, grateful to be present in the true life of today, the 3 months that Farid falsely claimed. The remaining woman, Naila, is waiting endlessly by the well of the old mud house, hanging on to that promise, hoping only for his return. In the place where love has ended, a woman's relentless longing. The tragedy of Naila, who has become a sand tomb while chasing the illusions of the past, on the 10th night, continues. Have you ever experienced regret like Farid, chasing after something futile and missing out on your precious daily life? Please share your thoughts on the foolish ending of Farid in the comments.